Hi guys, so I'm going to show you how I achieve this fall eyes look, so let's get started. Starting off with my eyebrows, they were already done off camera. I'm taking my LA Girl Pro Concealer and I'm blending that out. Make sure you blend all of your concealer out above and below your eyebrows. And take your time doing your eyebrows. Don't rush it. It takes time. Remember, they're not twins, they're sisters. Now I'm taking a Real Technique sponge, blending that out. Next I'm taking my Maybelline Fitme foundation in the color Coconut 355 and taking a Real Technique sponge and blending that out. As you can see, I'm actually dabbing my foundation in, no swiping. Swiper, no swiping. And yes, I had my music flowing, so I was singing and dancing in my video. Next, I'm taking my Morphe 12 NB palette. This is my favorite palette. I normally take a shade that's closest to my skin tone, and I'm using it as a transition color. You want to make sure you take a blending brush and you blend that out on your eyeshadow. Make sure that you're using windshield wiper motions. Still using that palette, I'm going to take a kind of orangey brown color to create some depth within my crease. So next I'm taking my Scarlet palette with the color Sagittarius, and I'm creating even more depth. Making sure that I blend everything out because you don't want the color in one area. Next, taking another Scarlet palette. It's the Dream palette. I'm taking the color Crown, and I'm using that basically to create some depth in my crease, but I'm going a little bit lower than what I went on those other two colors. It's all about building and adding. Makeup is about blending, adding, and building. Next, taking that Morphe palette, is the 12S palette, and using a burgundy looking color. They don't have names, so I'm using the burgundy looking color and taking it on the outer V and also into my crease, just blending it out. And like I say, you can keep building on top of that color. If you feel like you've blended some of the color out, you can keep that going. Next, I'm taking a eyeshadow base and I'm gonna apply that to the lid. I'm using kind of a smaller eyeshadow brush. It's pretty flat. And all of these products will be listed in the description bar, so don't fret, they'll be there. Using the eyeshadow base actually helps your eyeshadow to pop. Make sure when you're applying the eyeshadow base that you blend out the creases unless you're doing a cut crease. Other than that, you want to make sure everything blends. Even with doing a cut crease, you may take a smaller blending brush or maybe a smaller eyeshadow brush and make sure that line is as straight as possible. Next, I'm taking that same 12S Morphe palette and using a orange kind of shimmer shade, and I'm going to apply that to the lid. Using that, I'm actually taking another eyeshadow brush. It's a flat eyeshadow brush, but what you want to make sure when you're applying your lid color, make sure you're using patting motions. You don't want to swipe across your lid. Swiping actually helps you to lose color and you'll have a lot of fallout. And because I have on foundation, I don't want a lot of fallout, so I'm taking my time and I'm using circular motions when I'm blending and patting motions when I'm applying something to my lid. Also, normally I apply my foundation last. It's not something that I do before I do my eyeshadow, but in this video I did. Normally, sometimes I can get away with it, but you don't want to do your foundation when you're doing darker colors. You don't want that fallout to show up in your concealer. So now I'm taking more and more of that burgundy color, and I'm just going back and making sure I have everything blended out, making sure I have the colors that I want, taking some of that burgundy on a flat brush and just patting and trying to make that transition seamless on the lid. Next, I'm taking a crown brush palette. It's a neutral look palette. I'm taking a orangey color. It also doesn't have a name, but I'm taking an orangey color just to go on top of that shimmer. It wasn't as orange as I wanted it to be, but you can always build, like I say, so just make sure you take colors that you like. Next, taking a Koko something. Like I say, these will be in the description bar, but it's a Deca Scarlet liner. It's not necessarily black and it's not necessarily gray. It's kind of in between. It's not too harsh, and I didn't want a harsh line. I wanted the focus to be on the eyeshadow, so I'm taking that liquid eyeliner. Take your time on the eyeliner. Fun fact about me, I have kind of like an eye impairment. I had an eye impairment since I was younger. I wore a patch when I was 2, but my left eye, I can't necessarily see out of it. So I take my time and I do my eyeliner. It's easier for me to actually feel. Sometimes I just look in the mirror and I look down and I take my time and do my liner. But to get that seamless line, I have to take my time. I don't think there's an easy way to actually get a liner when you're doing your liner yourself. There is no quick way. Next, taking my LA Pro concealer and a Real Technique sponge. My Real Technique sponge is damp, so I'm taking my sponge and just blending everything out. Once again, I am taking the sponge and I'm not swiping, I'm patting, using all patting and dabbing motions. And I'll list what shades of concealer I used. Next, taking some a black opal concealer stick and contouring. I'm placing that on my cheeks. And now I'm gonna take my Anastasia Beverly Hills palette and I'm gonna use some lighter concealers for my nose. I'm not big on dark concealers around my nose. And I don't necessarily contour in what people would say the contouring way is, but I'll do a video on that. I'm not big on making my nose look like a skinny nose because my nose isn't skinny, so it might look funny if I tried to make it look like that, but I'm gonna do a whole video on that. Next, taking a sponge and making sure everything is blended. Blend, blend, blend. Still taking that leftover concealer around my temple and my forehead, blending that out. Blend, blend, blend. Next, taking my Sacha Buttercup powder, and I'm gonna take a brush and dab that in. Also, it's kind of a dabbing and swiping motion. You want to make sure you blend all of that in. And make sure you take the right amount. I actually took too much, so I had a lot of fallout, losing product, losing coins. Next, taking that brown shade and going under my eyes. I make sure I do my under eye after my concealer because I don't want to lose any product. I don't want to lose any of that color payoff. You can do your under eye before, but I like to do mine after my concealer. Next, I'm taking a black eyeliner and just going around my lash line, my lower lash line to be exact. Next, I'm going to take that Deca Scarlet color in Sagittarius and I'm going under my eye. Next, I'm taking a Deca Scarlet palette as well, and I'm taking the color, what color is that? Adorable. And I'm using that as my blush. Next, I'm taking the Lorac Tantalizer, the highlighter and duo powder. I'm using that bronzer, that matte bronzer. It's the highlighter and matte bronzer duo, I'm sorry. Using that around my contour. Taking the LA Pro setting spray. Now I'm taking the Milani Glow Baked Bronzer. It's the number 4. Using a fan brush to apply that. Next, taking my favorite mascara, the Tartiest mascara by Tarte. It's amazing. It does wonders for my very curly eyelashes. Taking some Kiss eyelashes. I did my eyelashes off camera, but they're the So Wispy lashes. Taking some more mascara, making sure my eyelashes blend. Next, I'm taking the color Chestnut Matte Lip Liner, lining my lips first. And like I said, I take my time with my makeup when I can. It depends on how much time I have. A look like this, you want to take more time to do it. Dancing in my video. So now I'm taking a lip color. I have no idea what color this is. I've had this for forever. Like I said, I had this lip color for forever. It's by Crimson. Yeah, I'm not sure what color this is, but it's kind of a duplicate color would be Snot by MAC. But yeah, I've had this for forever. It's one of my favorites. Hopefully I can figure out exactly what it is before I end up running out, because I need more. So I feel like I look good in this video. Loving my makeup. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys can achieve this look. Let's use the hashtag Falleyez if you guys try this look. As I say, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for coming, and you guys enjoy this video.